Hey friends, Stone here, and welcome back to the Mountaintop Kitchen. Today we're building a no-bake holiday beauty. Layers of pumpkin spice cream, cranberry orange brightness, and those buttery Biscoff cookies that soften into the dreamiest cake. We'll whip, spread, stack, and chill it overnight until it slices like a snowy December morning. So grab your spatulas and let's dive in. Guess what? I am back. I spent about 3 weeks in DC in Northern Virginia, had a great time there. Went to Georgetown and did a bakery crawl. My favorite place ended up being Boulangerie Christophe, where I ate a Paris breast. Right here it is, a picture of it. I had a great time there anyway, but I'm back and we still have time before Christmas to make some more desserts. So today we're going to be making something that my grandmother used to make, but I didn't have her recipe any longer, but I found one similar from New York Times for a pumpkin icebox cake. Now I'm going to make this the way that my grandmother made it though, so I'm making some changes. I'm going to be adding some cranberry jam and also adding some cream cheese to give more stability to the frosting. So I'm making a pumpkin cranberry-orange icebox cake today. Now this is so fast and easy to make, you're going to love it. After that big, heavy Christmas meal, or next year for Thanksgiving, you might want something light and cool and refreshing, and that's what this is. Because it's an icebox cake, you take it out of the fridge, and it's nice and cold after that hot, heavy meal. Okay, so let's get started with this. So we're going to start by creaming some cream cheese, for about a minute, just to loosen it up. This, like I said, this is such an easy dessert. You're going to want to just pull this together in no time. Okay, that's good enough. And now we're going to add some powdered sugar, not very much. Some pumpkin spice. I make my own. You can buy it in the store, but I do make my own. I will put that in the description box below. A pinch of salt, a little bit of vanilla extract, a good quality one, of course. Just plop that in there. And we have some heavy cream. So let's just pour our heavy cream in. Get all of it in there. And we're just going to mix this for about 2 to 3 minutes until we have soft peaks. And I think we have our soft peaks now. I should have mentioned before we get started here or go too far along, I have put some parchment paper into a 9x4 by 4 inch tall bread pan. And this is what we're going to use for our icebox cake. Now, you want to have some pretty good overhang here because we're going to use that to cover the cake when we stick it into the fridge and then to pull it out later. So you can also use saran wrap or plastic wrap or cling wrap, whatever you want to call it. I find it very tedious to work with though. But anyway, I'm using parchment paper today. Okay, so now that we have our soft peaks formed here, I'm going to go ahead and add the pumpkin puree, and that's it. Oh, and I should also mention before we get too far along that since we're using a cranberry-orange jam in this recipe, you're going to want to make that first, maybe the day before as I did. And so I have some in a piping bag here that we're going to pipe into the middle of the cake, and this is how we made it. Okay, so let's put in the pumpkin puree. After all, this is a pumpkin icebox cranberry-orange cake. So the main player is the pumpkin. Now, the cake part of this dessert is going to be made with, you can use gingersnaps as my grandmother did. I'm not doing that. I am using Biscoff cookies, as they do also in the New York Times recipe. So we're using Biscoff cookies today for the cake part of our pumpkin cranberry-orange icebox cake. So now you're going to want to mix this until you have firm peaks. Okay, we pretty much have a frosting-like consistency after a minute or so of mixing. So I'm going to do a little clear up here, clean off my table, and we're going to start putting this cake together. All right, I've cleaned up my table a little bit, not all the way as you can see. Now I have set aside about a cup of my frosting to put on the top of the cake after we remove it from the refrigerator. So I'm going to start with about a cup of the frosting in the bottom of the pan. So just plop it down in there. And then once you get it in, you just want to spread it around as evenly as possible. So I have that in the bottom of my pan. I'm just going to spread it around now to the edges. Okay, so now that we have one layer in, we're going to go ahead and start putting in our cookies. And we're just going to press them down in, making sure that you're leaving a little bit on the sides for your frosting to show after you take your cake out. I'm just lining them up one by one and going on. More cookies. Let's see, for this pan, it looks like I'm going to be able to get about 6 in here. Just about 6. Okay, then next, we're going to put in some of our homemade cranberry jam. Now you can use store-bought if you like, and you can use some other flavor other than cranberry that you think might pair well with pumpkin and with Biscoff cookies. So I'm just going to cut off the tip of this and then just swirl some of this around on top of the cookies. And then I'll spread it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. So this is what it looks like, and I'm just going to use this spoon that I bent to kind of spread it around, even it out a little bit, a nice layer on top of the cookie layer. You want to try to stay away from the sides because you don't want this to bleed off into the side of your cake once you plate it. Okay, so that's good enough there. And we just repeat the process. So about another cup of our frosting, our icebox cake frosting. This is a measurement of 1 cup, and I'm just going to now dollop this in on top of the jam. Now you can use as much jam or as little jam as you want, or you can leave it out altogether, making yours truer to the New York Times recipe. I wanted to replicate my grandmother's recipe as closely as possible, and she always used some jam in her pumpkin icebox cake. So that's what we're doing too. And let's spread it out. Okay, there we have it. So I am going to cover the top with the excess. Make sure that you don't pull it in too far. You don't want to destroy that one edge. And just kind of get it down onto the top, resting there. That's good. And we're going to pop this and our extra frosting that we're going to put on the top later into the fridge. We're going to leave it in there overnight. You want to leave it in there for a few hours or overnight, even better. We'll come back, we'll take it out, we're going to top it with some more frosting, and we're going to decorate it, and we're going to eat it. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, we're back. It's day 2. We've let our cake, our pumpkin icebox cake with cranberry and orange compote in the middle. We let it rest in the fridge overnight, which is really good because it gives time for the Biscoff cookies, the speculoos cookies, to absorb some of the moisture and become more cake-like. Okay, so we're going to top the cake with some more of this reserved frosting that we made. And then we're going to decorate it with some crushed, I always start to think of the Spanish word first. Then we're going to also decorate with some crushed pistachios, some crushed up Biscoff cookies, and some frozen cranberries. Well, they're frozen right now, but they won't be later. Okay, so all I'm going to do is swirl this on the top to make a nice little swirly pattern, and then decorate it, and that's it. Then we're going to cut it, and we're going to give it a try. So let me go ahead and plop some of this extra on top here. Just some dollops for now. That might be enough. And I'm just going to swirl it with a spoon to make a nice little top. Get some pretty good coverage across the whole top of the icebox cake. And then we're just going to decorate it with some of these crushed up pistachios. Just lightly sprinkle here and there. I think that's good. And then some of our crushed up Biscoff cookies. Let's get that on there as well. Again, as much or as little as you like. I think I'm going to go with somewhat a little. Don't want to be too overbearing with the topping. Okay, some up here in the front. We don't want to ignore the front. And then I'm just going to put a few of these little berries hither and thither. Okay, let's put one there. Let's get one up here. And another one down here somewhere. About right there. And over here one. And another one down here. Try not to get them too symmetrical. Okay, and I think one more up here. Okay, so isn't that beautiful? Look at that. This is our pumpkin and cranberry orange icebox cake. And again, to recap, my grandmother used to make this, and I couldn't find her recipe. So I found a similar recipe from New York Times. So I took that recipe and I added to it the things that my grandmother added, which is a cranberry and orange compote or jam in the middle. And she also used a little bit of cream cheese in the icing, more for stability, I think, and maybe a little bit of creamy flavor. Okay, so let's cut into this and try it right now. Okay, so let's give it a go. I went and grabbed a glass of milk because I always forget to get my milk for some reason. Milk goes with so many sweets. Okay, so we're going to cut it and try it right now. Let's see, where do I want to cut this baby? I think I'll go ahead and cut this end over here and get it onto my plate, and let's see how it looks. Wow, that is really smooth. Oh. Okay, got it in my fingers, of course. Okay, let's take a look inside. Take a look at that. Isn't that awesome? And here it goes. I'm gonna try that right now. This is my pumpkin and cranberry orange icebox cake. Let's go ahead and give it a try here. Real good. That cranberry really comes through, gives it a nice contrast to the pumpkin. So what would I do different next time I make this, I think? I think I would put a cup of the frosting on the bottom of my bread pan. Then every other layer, I think I'd use half a cup of frosting and more cookies in there to get more of a cake type layer. Here I only have 3. And I think it would have been better with more cookie in the cake and maybe about 4 or 5 layers with less frosting in between the cookie and the jam layers. Still good though. So give this a try. This will be a very light, it's not overly sweet, it's not heavy at all, it's very light, and it would be a great dessert to have after a heavy Christmas dinner, I think. So, almost got a whole piece done. Thanks for joining us on Mountaintop Kitchen, and hopefully we'll see you next time. I'm gonna keep on eating as usual. See you later, bye. Merry Christmas.